Tā, kur te laiks tiek spiests?
Kur tiek spiests laiks?
Tur ir.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. So, a little misunderstanding here, because for my personal project that I really love, we would need an online store, but I didn't sort of define it as a platform. So, for the sake of this project only, I moved a few steps back to my last project where I worked on loneliness. And this is what this presentation will be about, a platform on loneliness. But now a little bit about the project itself. I think in the first presentation, Krish wonderfully described what the platform is. So 2 or more parties, some sort of exchange, and the platform facilitates that relationship. How did I sort of dive into this project? It was all about research. And the biggest part for me was the why, because while researching and creating the presentation, I understood that this course for me specifically focused on strategic thinking or entrepreneurial thinking on how to sort of build elements together and make it make sense. So different value propositions for different parties involved, and how could we sell it? How could I basically make it come to life? That was those were the biggest learnings. And the objectives of this course for me personally were: how long would it take to create a platform that I wanted to develop in the previous course? How much would it cost? Then idea specification. These were the tasks given by Davis. Value proposition, audience, MVP description, and technical specification, and of course timeline and the cost analysis. For that, I used our lecturer and ChatGPT. Not ashamed to say it. So, the Lonely platform. A little dive back into the research that was made in the previous project, so our guest lecturer also has some context. So the study, 85 years plus my surveys, the findings were, and let's make it scientific, the evidence is, it's not a fact, there's evidence that people with lower communication skills are either single and not happy about it, or they are in relationships and still unhappy in those relationships due to their lack of communication skills. So this platform would solve exactly that. It's a soft skill trainer to make you understand how to deal with hard, intense feelings, emotions maturely. And from the previous research as well, the user and the customer would be most likely single women with bad habits, because bad habits considered as self-medication, nicotine, alcohol. They do them, but they do want to improve because they try to journal, they try different types of apps, they try meditating, but nothing really works for them specifically. And my hypothesis is that they lack the why behind it and the more education about the emotions themselves. Partners for the platform, so the second party coming in, would be the professionals and therapists looking for passive income. For them, it would work like this. You put in content, the user and customer, if they want to watch your content, they would pay for the subscription, and with some sort of algorithm, you get money. Simple. And features, emotion recognition test, that would be the main value proposition for the user and the customer. So if you do not know what is the emotion or the feeling that you're feeling, there's extensive research behind the platform that tells you what you're feeling exactly. Then journaling, exercises option, guided meditation options, and text a friend option. And then the subscription part would be the videos from professionals. Why exactly these features? Because these were the things that people in the surveys I did in the previous project mentioned that they try to use most. And this is how it would look like. Really simple. I didn't go into the detail, so just logging in. The platform is asking how you're feeling. If you're pressing not sure, the test starts. So where is the emotion located, how intense it is, and some more in-depth questions. For example, has a situation similar to this happened to you recently? Did a person X say this to you, etc., etc. So all of the events that could lead to that specific feeling. When the app understands the feeling, it just tells you, and then you choose the option of how you want to sort of self-medicate and how you want to learn. And this is how the options would look like, at least at first. If it's a journaling exercise, there's just an audio that asks you questions that you write down the answers to in your journal. Then the guided meditation, you just listen and do what the audio says. And text a friend. The friends who are also registered on the app, you can just send them a notification letting them know how you feel. And the learning part would be like TikTok, because that is also an escape mechanism that people use when they are feeling shitty. They try to escape their emotions, so they doom scroll through all of the possible apps. So this would be doom scrolling, but with education and also the ability to sort of go to the professional's profile if you really like them, follow them, see their content more. And our MVP was also created in the previous project, which was this Telegram bot, and I believe that for an MVP it's fair enough to see whether people like the features. But the additional part would be not text journal exercises and meditation exercises, but like audio, just like in the platform. And the time frame and costs. So research, approximately from 12 to 24 months. I put 24 months because I like knowing worst case scenarios, just to have some sort of time for error or maybe something unexpected happening, and that would cost $50,000 approximately. Then designing and programming for 2 months, $40,000. Hosting $70 a month per person on the platform. That's what I found. You told me to Google it, and that's what I found. And the salaries for initial development, I'm taking into account 3 people, so front-end developer, back-end developer, and myself. And we would get 2,500 brutto a month, and that would lead to this total. I would say it's a ballpark, so from 105,000 to 150, probably, because there's a lot of things I don't know about platform development, but this is what I came up during this time. And takeaways, platforms are not for me. This is not something I will develop. I will develop an online store for my cards, but I didn't do the project with them because I thought an online store is not a platform. And this course is great for strategic thinking. And also, I noticed my weak sort of points in strategic thinking specifically because it's difficult for me to come up with the things that I don't know that I don't know. And there were still a lot of holes in my head that I couldn't fill. Like, I felt like that while developing this. And I thought that this could be a really cool thing to teach in schools. Strategic thinking, logic, etc. Yes, those are my takeaways, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Really enjoyed it. Design and energy. So great. Would you elaborate on how you're going to exploit data you would collect from platform users? Have you thought about that?
Of course, because we talked about it, and you threw me a little bit of hints also. So sell it to businesses, HR, I guess. That is one part of that, and to anyone who needs it, but there would probably, users have to agree with that, right? And since you would be able to register on this platform both anonymously and not anonymously, I believe that that would be a big part of it, that the data is coming only from anonymous users. But sell it to whoever needs data like that, maybe some governmental research, maybe HR companies with the demographic data about people in certain areas feeling like that due to certain factors, etc.
Got it. Thank you. Another question is what you would need to start this as your real business?
What would I need to start this as my real business?
Yeah, it's so. It looks that you have thought through quite a deal regarding this platform, and I feel that partly it would be a shame if it won't be launched. So
Sort of. It's like I could give this idea to anyone who wants it at any point right now, because while researching through all of this, I understood that it's too big of a hassle for me. Like I wouldn't enjoy it. It would be too stressful to get the funding, to talk to investors, to get the user base. No. I don't want to do that. But for the starting part, I would like to think that the MVP is good enough just to test whether people would use that. But I want real research behind the MVP as well. So at the beginning, I would still need a team of, let's say, 2 researchers, do it for half a year, just so we can have like basic 5 motions there that the platform can guess or predict, and use that as an MVP in the Telegram bot, as I showed. And then see how many users it can gather, and from that move on into more extensive research. Yes.
yeah, right.
No. David? No. Good? No? Okay. But, okay, well, Dav stinks. I'm not sure if you did, but kind of for me it seems that you didn't connect the dots how your product integrates into this platform.
Not really, because my product is more on creating connection. It's also under the loneliness, it's like a subcategory, but it's entertainment that creates connection. In my opinion, this is more of a learning platform. Learning soft skills, learning your feelings, learning how to recognize and sort of communicate better.
And what do you learn from your product?
I guess you could connect the part where you learn how to communicate better, but I don't feel like it's always the case, in a sense. You could be
So I'm kind of amazed that you're kind of dismissing this.
Okay, sure,
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. It's just kind of, that's what when you said it's kind of, you don't see how it connects. And this is what I can feel as well when I look at you, that you don't see how it connects. Because you have meaning, loneliness, then you have platform where you capture everything about it, and then you have products which people can buy and they can fix their loneliness. So in this case, you have all 3, but you're kind of dismissing, no, you are not, but you are yes, and this doesn't work together, but that's what you basically have done with the product and with this. It's like 2 pieces of puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
But you're kind of thinking it's wrong puzzles, but they're the same puzzle.
Mm-hmm. I see where you're coming from. They could be the same puzzle.
You know what the problem is? You don't have another 10 products, because then you will seek the platform that has the bigger meaning to connect them all in one place. Because when you will have like 10 different type of products, online courses, cards, and all other stuff that you come up with to fixing this problem, like basically like a soft skill trainer, basically, the cards also goes into that. And other products that you will create goes under that. So it's kind of, that was the bridge here still kind of, you have to build in your mind, I guess, or the whiteboard somewhere. If you build the bridge, this will click together for you.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, it clicked just now when you commented. I feel like the blocker that was in me that sort of wants to push this away is that I do not want to develop it because I don't have the builder brain, in a sense. How I imagine my entrepreneurship journey is I just want to create cards, I want to make people happy, I want to advertise it, and I want more people coming into the sort of the community, the user base, but this is why...
And that's exactly what you have built.
Yes,
presentation,
but...
a place where they come together and where to advertise it, where to sell it. It's basically the easiest form called blog.
Yes, but for developing that, I would need another person to do it, like a teammate. Because I do not want to deal with it. Simple as that. Do not want to
That's
have
different.
those skills.
That's different story.
Yeah.
You don't kill the idea just because you need extra two hands.
Okay, valid. Sure. Yeah, so I'll need extra hands.
That's a
Then
different
we can-
story. Now you know what solution you need to search for.
Yes.
Nice. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I actually really enjoyed it. Everything that we talked about and mentioned was there. I like the product idea that you just mentioned. It adds an addition to your existing one. And it's like, yeah, why did we talk about it before? I have just one technical question actually, but I want to know, how did you get to the $70 per user?
ChatGPT and Google. Google couldn't give me an exact number, so I asked ChatGPT, and it said from 20 to 70. And as I told you before, I use worst case scenarios always.
So that's
okay.
Annual income or what's meant with it? It's like monthly
Monthly
payment or what was it?
Monthly,
Monthly, yeah.
monthly payment. For
Yeah, it could.
So what's the real price?
That's your business experience question to answer.
No, no.
But I have an expert right here, so I
Yeah,
can just ask,
yeah.
right?
I just want to know if what kind of, if you put it in ChatGPT, what were the metrics that you wrote for it to give you that result?
So I described the platform idea. I described the front end. I described the view from the expert's perspective as well, and like the goal of the platform and how the user would interact with it and how the expert would interact with it. And I asked how much would it cost to host it.
Okay. Did you give it approximate users by time?
No, I said give me hosting per one user.
Okay. The actual answer is it's based on users. At the start, yeah, it's $20 per month easily. When your user count goes up in the platform, and for example, you put in e-commerce and it gets a lot bigger, and the users get a lot more, and especially if it's videos, the hosting goes from approximately, for example, 1,000 users in the platform at the same time, using all the functions that you have. It's probably around 200, 250.
All right, so bulk makes it cheaper.
Yeah. Because anything, that's for everything, not just this platform, for everything. The more users you have at the same time, the more the load goes on the hosting servers and everything and the technical stuff. The more users you have at the same time, the more money you have to pay to manage the load. It's a server. The more users, the bigger the load, the more for example, RAM and memory it needs to keep up the speed and everything else. About the idea, it would be a really shame if you put it down. It would be a real shame because I actually like it a lot. There's a place for it. There's AI tools and AI implementations for it. Hence Telegram and everything. It's just get another set of hands, I guess.
Okay.
I have one last comment.
Sure, yeah.
You said at the beginning it felt like 2 steps back, but it's actually a step forward. So sometimes step forward feels like steps back.
Philosophical.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. And the 70 was at the price for user or the expenses for user? Now I'm kind of confused on it.
Expenses.
Expense for user, okay. Not the price for using the platform.
I'm getting a feeling that most of people commenting are hearing or hearing what they want to
Of course,
hear.
as
So
always, yeah.
I suggest that when an entrepreneur says they really don't want to work on this, or you comment on how much work they put in, maybe it is not so, and you should hear them out more deeply.
So decision's still yours. Doesn't matter what we say.
Yes, that's true. Yeah,